or you're about to get this promotion, you're about to get into a relationship, you're about to, you know, get something that you've been wanting for a long time, right? But then once you think you get it, you actually don't get it at all. And it was just a test from the universe. And you're like, what? Why am I getting tested again? Like, why? This, like another test? Like, really, God? Like, really another one? And leaves you at your rock bottom. That will show you whether or not you are able to succeed in life. When life tests you the most, to the point where you are literally rock bottom. You don't know where you're gonna get your next dollar. You don't know anything. But you know that you're resilient enough to pick yourself up, figure something out, and always push through. So that is what I would like to call the resilience test, because the resilience test will really show you whether or not you are built for this shit. Okay? Whether or not you are built for life. Life is not always rainbows. Life is not always mornings and the not seeing any income, etc. It's seeing whether or not you are really committed to what you want. And see, the difference between what we want and what we need is very, very different. What we think that we want sometimes is really not what we need in life, and vice versa. So these tests will strip away any superficial idea of our wants or our desires and really get down to the nitty-gritty. Deep you really want is around the corner. Start by noticing that when you are being tested, the things that you really want is just around the corner. I know it's easy to look around and you see your friends and your family or your coworkers doing so much better than you, and you just like a stranger, a friend, a family member, because their journey is not your journey. Period. Their journey is not your journey. Don't ever compare your journey to theirs, because it's completely different. This also can tie in with people that drag you down. This can also go in the opposite direction, whereas if you are friends with someone or maybe acquaintances with someone that are not really going in the direction that you want to go in
order to bring you back into that same narrative. We have to remember that they're trying to bring us back into the narrative where they feel like they benefited from that version of us. So whether it was you lack boundaries in that space, people are going to have more of a whiplash effect than you will. In my own experience, what I noticed was the people who talked the loudest, judged me the most for wanting to change, how I changed, those were the same people who, when I stepped fully into this new version of myself, they were the ones copying me the most. So I always say that the people who are judging you and they're the loudest in the background, those are the people in the bush taking notes. So as much as you feel uncomfortable, right, because maybe you're the person, we're not throwing away our whole personality and becoming somebody else. We're amplifying the positives about ourselves and being conscious and aware of the parts of us that maybe we need to work on, or maybe they are coming from more of a trauma space, or they're coming from more of a fight or flight space. That's another thing. One of the most important things to realize is that stress is going to really negatively impact your life, okay? When you're in fight or flight mode, we talk about this as like, you know, we needed it during the times when we were literally running from animals that could kill us. But what we have to recognize is that it's not so much of, oh, you don't need that right now, that allows you to feel more comfortable with who you are. Acknowledge for yourself that that is going to emotionally cause you to feel stress. It's going to cause you to feel uncomfortable. And we don't want to dismiss that, because when we do, we think to ourselves, it's not that big of a deal, or I'm making a bigger deal of it than I need to. I'm stressing for no reason. It's not that serious. We can shame ourselves into not acknowledging that, yes, it went down, or, you know, women have it worse. But in reality, you could be a woman who has other women who do this to you. You could be a man who has men do this to you, or women who do this to you. I never want to put it into too much of a box, because if I make it so that you think men do this, then you're going to miss the big, glaringly obvious, jealous sister that you have, or mother that you have, or friend that you have. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I can make a video on this later. But the idea that when you have people around you that drop my kids off in whatever I want to wear, whether that's a dress that day, or I'm going to the gym, so I'm wearing my workout clothes, or I'm going to Target and I'm wearing an outfit that looks like I should be going to like a corporate lunch. It doesn't matter. The fact is that you desire to look the way that you want to, and you desire to show up in your life more in alignment with the authentic version of yourself that's more peaceful, more whole, more calm, more spiritually grounded than past versions of yourself. I don't have to explain that to anybody. I don't have to get kudo points from anybody or make sure that somebody else feels comfortable with the way that I want to show up for myself. I know what past versions of myself have experienced in ourselves. Another thing is that when, like I said before, the people who talk the most about the way that I was doing things and why I was doing things and like spreading rumors about me the most, these are the people who are trying to copy me now more than anybody else. I joke, but I'm dead serious. These are the people who are in the bush taking notes. When you are really allowing yourself to be your authentic self, and it feels like, yeah, but they're talking about me, they're judging me, it feels uncomfortable, I can tell you right now, none of those people are anywhere near me. Like, I don't have any run-ins with this video where I was talking about, you know, the characters that I identified as Steven and Melissa. Those people believed that the old version of me, that she still existed, they just had to pull me out. And so they would purposely do things to agitate me, to activate me, to trigger me, to make me upset in order to bring me back into that space for themselves, to make themselves feel better. Because what you have to think about more than anything is that these people played a role in that version of your life. Whether they were the friend that you prioritized more, or they were the ex that you couldn't get over, or they're the new girlfriend who thinks they're better than you, or the sister who competes with you, or the mother who can't let you have your own life. It doesn't matter. The point is that you played a role in that narrative, and what they're trying to do is bring you back into that space. So they're going to say things that the old version of you used to get upset by. You know, they're going to do things to piss you off, to make you feel uncomfortable, insecure. And when we say to ourselves that that version of us doesn't exist, we're literally saying we're not going to respond the same way that we used to. And you would think, sometimes we struggle, we're like, why does that bother them so much? Because they attack that you're in. They're not in the same state of mind, energetic state that someone who is now spiritually, you know, activating themselves. I found out that these same people were going out and telling people that I was doing what they were doing to me. And this was a confirmation that they do absolutely 100% know that